athletic director, we wanted to find someone who checked many, many boxes. Number one, we wanted someone who had significant administrative and business experiences in sports. We wanted someone with energy, drive, and passion. Number three, we wanted someone aligned with our mission and values. And number four, we wanted someone with impactful ideas on how to navigate the quickly changing world of collegiate athletics. I am proud to say that Jim Smith not only met and checked all these boxes, but exceeded those requirements. And that is why he is the perfect choice for the new Barry P. Gossett Director of Athletics here at the University of Maryland. For more than 2 decades, Jim has pursued and achieved excellence in higher education and sports, from being president and CEO of the Ohio State University Alumni Association to senior executive positions at Arthur M. Blank Sports and Entertainment, where he led revenue and marketing for the Atlanta Falcons and Atlanta United, and the design and development of the $1.6 billion Mercedes-Benz Stadium. At each stop in his career, Jim has delivered rapid growth, increased engagement, and enhanced operations. In his most recent role as Senior Vice President of Business Strategy with the Atlanta Braves, his strategic leadership resulted in significant increases in annual ticket sales, concessions, and retail, as well as serving as a point person, believe it or not, for this year's 2025 Major League Baseball All-Star Game to be held in Atlanta. That's why he's not starting on July 1st, by the way, just so everybody knows. He's committed to completing that job. Thank you, Jim. I have no doubt that Jim will bring that same standard to the 250 full-time staff members in our athletic department and the over 500 student athletes in our Department of Intercollegiate Athletics. His unwavering dedication to student athlete health, well-being, and academic success are also a testament to his character and strong foundation that will continue for our Terps to succeed both on the field and in the classroom. I would like to take this moment to thank members of the search committee. Are they here? Could they stand up, members of the search committee, if you are here? Give them a round of applause. It was led by Vice President for Legal Affairs and General Counsel, Jay Rosello, and Arts and Humanities Dean, Stephanie Shonikin, as well as we partnered with Turnkey ZRG for their hard and quick work over the past 5 weeks. I also like to take this moment and opportunity to thank Ms. Colleen Sorm for her incredible, dedicated service. Stepping in as our interim athletic director, she has guided the department with absolute professionalism and even hired our new basketball coach for men's basketball, Buzz Williams, on her watch. Let's give her a much-deserved round of applause. Thank you, Colleen, for all that you do. Searching for an athletic director is never easy and is always a very visible task. My predecessor would often describe athletics, and you've heard this before, as the front porch of our university. And it's an apt description. College athletics have a tremendous impact on our brand, reputation, admissions, and fundraising. And there is an obligation and strategic benefit to making sure our Terps excel both in the classroom and on the playing fields. For example, I'm sure that everyone spent the past few days wearing some Maryland Terp gear with a little bit more pride because our men's lacrosse team is in the Final Four and will be competing tomorrow in New England for hopefully another championship. So I want to say a shout out, congrats to men's lacrosse coach John Tillman and his team for a job well done, and good luck this weekend in the Final Four. College sports are also undergoing change at a very rapid rate. From name, image, and likeness, and to the transfer portal, to revenue sharing and roster sizes. We just spent the weekend talking about all these different topics, didn't come to any conclusions. I'm just kidding. We actually made a lot of progress at our Big Ten meetings in California. We know that we must pair a competitive edge on the sidelines with visionary leadership off of the sidelines to be at the forefront of this evolving industry. And that's why we have and will continue to make big plays in this space to live up to our goal of truly being fearless. It is why we joined the Big Ten more than 10 years ago and the Big Ten Academic Alliance at the same time. It is why we invested in new facilities such as Jones Hill House for our football performance program and performance center and the Barry P. Gossett Performance Center. Thank you, Barry. And it's why we go out and hire the best leaders, be it bringing in Buzz Williams, thanks to Colleen Swarm and Brian Oman, to joining our best coaching staff, the best in the country, by the way. Our coaching staff is the best in the country, top to bottom, bar none. So today, we'll help continue the excellence we have already seen. As Commissioner Petiti just mentioned, we are perennial contenders in women's basketball, men's and women's lacrosse, field hockey, and many other sports, and men's soccer. I have to say that just for Sasha. From over 49 conference championships and 6 national championships over the last decade, to setting a school record just this year, thanks to all of you, in our academic progress rate score last year with 9 teams earning a perfect score. How about a round of applause for that? So I am honored and privileged to be the president of this university and to bring new excellence to our athletic program and our athletic department. First, before I introduce him, I want to thank Polly, his wife, their 4 children, Rachel, who's a star of her own in ESPN and Game Day. She's actually up at the lacrosse championships ahead of the father. Courtney, Daniel, and Emily. Give them all a round of applause for joining their father in this partnership. Now it's my honor and privilege to introduce to you the new Barry P. Gossett, Director of Maryland Athletics, Mr. Jim Smith.
Thank you very much. And I couldn't see any of you because Scott was blocking the view. So appreciate President Pines. Thank you so much for the kind words and introduction. And to Commissioner Petiti, I'm honored that you made the trip across the country to be here today. And to all of you, friends of Maryland Athletics, the coaches, the staff, thank you all for being here. I'm grateful and humbled for such a warm welcome. Quick story. My wife and I arrived last night and got checked into the hotel here, right? It was really interesting. I flipped on the TV, and almost right away, the news came up, a headline on NBC News, and it said, "Anticipation builds at the university for tomorrow's guest speaker." And I'm thinking, wow. And I was like, wow, they're really rolling out the red carpet for me. And then a few minutes later, the anchor ran the actual report, and of course they were talking about one of the great legendary alums here, Kermit the Frog. And it's really an honor to be the warm-up for Kermit, so I am thrilled to be here today, and I'm obviously more than happy to take a back seat to that legendary Terp. I'd like to acknowledge a couple of familiar faces here with us today. First, I had a chance to meet this morning with the talented senior athletic department staff, Colleen, Sue, Mark, Kirby, Carrie, Eric, Sean, and Brian. They have been amazing in my few weeks here, not even few weeks, 1 week on the job. And it's really, thank you for making this transition as easy as possible. So proud to join all of you. Jay Rosello, Chief Legal Counsel for the university, who chaired the search committee that brought me here, thank you very much. To the person who my first text from Terp came from Scott Van Pelt, and I sincerely meant a lot to me to see your text come in from our mutual friends at ESPN. And to be able to be in the room with a fellow former Buckeye, Hall of Famer Gary Williams. Gary, thank you for being here. Earlier this morning, I visited Gossett Hall. I will tour the Barry Gossett Basketball Performance Center, and my official title is the Barry P. Gossett Director of Athletics. So I couldn't be more thrilled to actually meet the man in person a little earlier. Barry, thank you for all you do for the university. It's an honor to have you here today and to work in a position that has your name on it. Thank you. I'd also like to briefly acknowledge someone who's not here today. Andy Geiger, former athletic director here at Maryland, was a mentor of mine. We overlapped at Ohio State, partnering on many of those building projects that you see on that campus when we were way ahead of what the rest of college athletics was doing. And it was Andy that really inspired me to lead with integrity and have a bold vision for what college athletics can be. So Andy, if you're watching, thank you. I stand up here today with a clear understanding of the enormity of the moment, not just for me, but for all of you, for the University of Maryland, for the athletic department, for the coaches, and for the enterprise of college athletics. The college football playoffs, conference, everything seems to be changing right now. Conference realignment, college football playoffs, name, image, and likeness, roster limits, television rights, transfer windows, the very business of the model of college athletics, all changing. It was President Kennedy who once famously said, "Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past and the present are certain to miss the future." I love that quote because inherent in its words is opportunity. For those willing to grasp the mantle, there is an opportunity for change, opportunity for growth, for innovation, for leadership. President Pines has grasped that mantle. Commissioner Petiti has grasped that mantle. And I'm standing here today because I, too, want to grasp that mantle. And again, I'd like to thank President Pines for giving me the opportunity to lead at Maryland Athletics Forward. President Pines spoke kindly about my experience with several professional sports franchises and my time in alumni engagement at Ohio State. I've learned the business of football, soccer, baseball, lacrosse, facility construction, and operations. He noticeably left out one opportunity that I worked in, my time with the World Wrestling Federation. I was not a wrestler, but I was there. But I learned a lot from the WWE. It was WWF then, it's WWE today. But I learned a lot from the WWE about the importance of brand and of fan engagement. So I will bring to this position a wide variety of experiences and lessons from all those different industries. I'm ready for this challenge. As the Barry P. Gossett Director of Athletics, I'm going to focus on excellence across our enterprise. We are going to be good university partners. We've already got a sports management program underway with the Smith School of Business. There's more to do. I want to make Maryland athletics an essential and integral part of the University of Maryland. We're going to be good Big Ten colleagues. Commissioner Petiti, we're going to do our part to continue to position the conference as the best in the nation. And I promise might be too strong, to keep our complaints about the officials to an absolute minimum. And we're going to build the best athletic program in the country. This department has already done amazing things, and we talked about the 49 conference championships. It's a testament to the leadership of the department, an incredible coaching staff, and the great work that was done before me for the better part of a decade. For 49 titles since joining the Big Ten. Our recent academic scores are the best in our history. When it opens in a few short months, the new Barry P. Gossett Basketball Performance Center will rival any basketball facility in the country. We also just opened new facilities for baseball, softball, field hockey, and women's lacrosse. We have an incredible strong foundation here to build on. We're going to focus on alumni engagement. We're going to focus on filling SECU Stadium and Xfinity Center with Terp fans. and we're going to give the best fan experience in the country. We're going to focus on revenue, because make no mistake about it, to compete with the caliber of schools, not just in the Big Ten, but across the country, we must increase our revenues. So we're going to be trying a few new things. I'm not going to tell anyone any of them today. Taking new approaches, applying what I've learned from professional leagues here and bring them to college athletics. Now, I do need to put all this into context. While revenue and brand and competitiveness on the field is critical for our success, we will not lose sight of our enduring mission. I'm also going to be a relentless supporter of our student athletes. That means investing in academic support, nutrition and training, leadership development, mental health services, brand building, and financial wellness. All of these things create the holistic athlete that we're trying to create while winning championships. Because our job, and that goes for every coach and administrator in this room, is to develop our young women and men into leaders beyond the field, to be productive members of our country and our society in whatever field they choose to explore. That has been our core mission and will continue to be our core mission. Finally, before I finish, I want to acknowledge my family for their support. My wife, Polly, is here with me today. Dr. Pines introduced her. I have 4 grown children, Rachel, Courtney, Daniel, and Emily, who I know are watching this live and critiquing my performance in the real-time family group chat. I can't imagine what it's going to say, but I'm looking forward to reading it later. Together, they truly represent the foundation of my life, both personally and professionally. Polly, I love you. I love the kids. I hope you're watching. Once again, thank you for the opportunity to lead Maryland athletics. From the moment I was announced as the athletic director a week ago yesterday, maybe, I've been struck by 3 things. First, I've had the opportunity to connect with many of our head coaches, both in person, on the phone, or via text. In fact, I met with Coach Tillman and the men's lacrosse team this morning and to wish them good luck as they leave for the Final Four. And what I've learned is that every coach, either they're fooling me, or every coach has a fierce commitment to Maryland. For them, Maryland is the destination, and so it is for me too. I've also been struck by the talented administrators I've met. They've greeted me warmly and, more importantly, expressed an openness to new ideas, to different thinking, and about how we might change things, improve things here at Maryland. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the professionalism and optimism for the future. And finally, I've been in touch with many, many alumni and supporters. Kirby is wearing me out. And every one of them has been incredibly gracious and welcoming and promising to help in any way. And it's genuine, it's unique, and it's special. So with committed coaches, dedicated staff, and supportive alumni and friends, I really believe we are well positioned to collectively reshape our athletic department to ensure Maryland remains at the forefront of the truly great athletic programs in the country. Thank you again. I'm honored to be your athletic director, and go Terps.
At this time, we'd like to ask President Pines and all the Maryland head coaches to join us on the stage for a special presentation. Representing the head coaches is head coach for Maryland football, Mike Loxley.
Jim, welcome to Terpsville. We're all so thrilled to have you part of our team. On behalf of my amazing colleagues that flank me here, I'm pleased to welcome you and Polly to the Maryland family. Go Terps.
Thank you.
One more. Okay.
Very excellent. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for being here.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Is that all right?
You want to be on the record?
I'll be on
You can do whatever you want.
All right, at this time, we're going to take a few questions from the media for Jim and President Pines. I'll call on you. Please identify your name and affiliation. We'll get a mic to you. All right, we'll start off with Kareem Copeland.
Hey, Jim. Kareem Copeland from the Washington Post. Welcome. Good to meet you.
Thank you.
There's been a lot of talk about change this morning already, and wondering if you could share, we've talked about your kind of background and your experiences, what your vision, your thoughts of how to approach this NIL space that we all know is still evolving, and Maryland has kind of lagged a little bit behind in recent years. So how do you want to approach that space?
Great. Well, thanks for the hardball to start with, fastball to start with. Jeez, we didn't waste much time. So it's, look, when we were going through the process, Maryland's made the commitment to make the full investment of the $20.5 million or so, depending on what the judge determines, but into their programs, right? And then we have to figure out how we're going to complement that. So we can continue to recruit at the highest level. And I think it's a little early to say, hey, I've got this vision. I've got to get in and spend some time with the coaches and with the administrators in the university to say, hey, how do we want to raise the funds that are necessary to compete at the absolute highest level? So I think in the short answer, there's a good plan in place for the short term, and I'm looking to kind of amplify that plan as soon as I get going.
We'll go to Heather McDonough in the middle.
Hi, Jim. Heather McDonough, NBC4. Thanks for watching last night. You've had so much experience in so many different places. When you're looking at this job, and this job came open, when other people look at jobs, they're like, hey, that fits me, that fits me. Did this seem like the perfect fit for you? And what can you take from all those different places that you plan on implementing, maybe some of the key characteristics and things that you learned in those roles?
So it's an interesting time in college athletics, right? I think if you were to say, 4 years ago, this job is different and I'm not the candidate. I think it's just evolved to the point today where it requires someone who understands how a campus operates and can bring in different experience on how to generate additional revenue that has been in a lot of different areas. So when I was presented the job description, it was very interesting. And so it made me start thinking about what is the University of Maryland trying to accomplish that everybody else isn't. And so I entered the process, and I learned very quickly that part of the future of this university and its future success is the gentleman sitting next to me. Because you can't have success in athletics without someone who truly believes in athletics. And that's what made it very interesting. So going through the process, I did not know Dr. Pines, but I got to know him, and I feel very confident that we can accomplish big things together here at the University of Maryland.
And have you decided yet, are you more a Bentley's or Cornerstone person at this point? You still have some time for that.
SVP?
The right answer is Bentley.
All right, we'll go to Dave Preston on the right-hand side by the wall.
Dave Preston, WTOP Radio in Washington. Welcome to campus, Jim. You've had a lot of different experiences over the years, most recently at the professional level with the Atlanta Braves. What do you feel you gained the most from the Braves and your experiences there that will help you here?
So the Braves are a championship organization. Winning a World Series, things have to go right. Everything has to be in place. Everything has to be thought about for the moment that you're ready to win that championship. And that's an organization that's ready to win championships. So I learned a lot from being in there, and then I learned a lot about how to make a championship organization better. And being a senior leader there and figuring out how we can continue to improve. Won the World Series in 21, an incredible experience, but so consistently competitive over time. And I think that's what we all aspire to in working in sports, is to be consistently competitive.
And to follow up, do you have any cool wrestling stories to share today?
For another time.
All right, we'll go to Taylor Lyons.
Jim, Taylor Lyons, Baltimore Sun. You're going to inherit a football coach who's been here for 7 years, on the contract for a few more. You're an Ohio State guy. You know what it takes to win in football in the Big Ten. What are your expectations for Loxley and for Maryland football moving forward?
So Coach Locks and I have talked a lot about where we are as a program. I think he feels really good with the recruits that we brought in. But also, part of it is it's on our responsibility to make sure he's got the funding that's necessary to compete at the level with the other Big Ten programs. So I'm optimistic about the season that's coming up. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to seeing how we can bring more to the table to make sure Maryland football can be successful here.
Sam Jane.
Hey, Jim. Thank you for your time today. Sam Jane, Inside Maryland Sports. I wanted to ask, you talked about revenue. Maryland's ranked second to last in the Big Ten and has been in deficit 2 of the past 3 years. You said you weren't going to say any of the plans you take today, but just what was the focus on in terms of generating revenue, and how do you expect to do that better than it's been done in the past?
So you look at a lot of factors. You do a lot of analysis. You spend a lot of time understanding the market, the business, what we do, how we price. All of those things are variables, and every professional sports team does. And I think my experience when I was with the Atlanta Falcons, when we moved down there, we were at the bottom of the NFL in revenue. I won't say we were. I can't say that, we're live streaming. So we were near the bottom. And what it does is it takes a commitment of focus, just like coaching. If you're committed and you're focused to the goals, you will achieve. And so that's what we slowly did in Atlanta. I'm not going to tell you this is an overnight. There's no silver bullets from going towards the bottom of the Big Ten to the top of the Big Ten from a revenue. But there's a lot of opportunity here. And I'm really excited to explore the opportunity.
And President Pines, how much of a focus was revenue generation during the search?
It was a major focus. What we can't share is the ideas that Jim shared with the search committee and me. Ideas I've never heard of that I think will be significant going forward. But Jim also really wanted this job. He was impressed by our coaches and their success, the 49 championships. He felt that Maryland batted above its average based on its revenue that it had, its operating budget. And he thought that he could really improve that and then get us to bat even greater above our average. So I was really excited with the ideas and just his enthusiasm for this was a destination for him.
Time for one last question. Michael Howes.
Hi, Jim. Michael Howes, the Diamondback. Given your experience with the Atlanta Braves, how do you plan to support Coach Swope's baseball program here, given the new challenges with NIL, rev share, and now the increased scholarship spots for a baseball team?
So I'm not sure about the compliance rule and what I can and can't do before I get here, but Coach he's been very involved with a number of Braves players. So I know a little bit about his approach to baseball, and I'm really excited to be working with him, and we'll figure out a way to get the Braves involved up here for sure.
All right, that concludes this portion of today's event. Let's give one final round of applause for our new Barry P. Gossett Director of Athletics, Jim Smith. All right, thank you all for coming, and go Terps!
lobby elevators and go up to the penthouse level. Thank you.